Cloud is the flagship unit of the Final Fantasy VII Remake collaboration in War of the Visions and will soon be dominating a meta near you. So let's take a look at his kit and find out why Cabbage says Cloud is a 100 cost unit in disguise. This will be the first of my Final Fantasy VII unit reviews for the collaboration, and we don't have the official global stats yet. So bear in mind there could be some personal abilities on the vision cards, or maybe some buffs for the global units. Like they mentioned that Barrett is going to be getting a buff. So if I don't mention anything in this video that has since been revealed in the game, then please excuse that. Otherwise, I'm going to present with the information that we have from JP. Alright, Cloud is a 90 cost unit with the unique job Soldier. He has the Ranger and Nightblade subjobs and uses a great sword as his weapon of choice. So we're going to be also getting a farmable Buster Sword during this event, which will increase Cloud's lightning attack. Cloud uses armor and helms as his equipment. As for his TMR, it's his shoulder plates. They're like an armor, they are an armor that will give you some HP defense and spirit, as well as some crit avoid. His TMR has a 1 cast TP skill, and this is going to decrease AP consumption by 25% for 3 turns for the user. So if you can equip armor, you can equip this Trustmaster, so feel free to share that around with your other armor wielding units. This seems like a pretty good TMR for most attackers that don't have bells on. Definitely something I'm very interested in. His mastery ability is the typical lightning attack and HP amp for lightning units. He also gets 10 AoE resistance and 5% boost to critical damage. Let's talk about Cloud's stats. He has low HP for an up and close damage dealer, but overall he looks really good. His attack is high at 504, and what's really impressive is his 68 agility. He also has 20 to crit rate, which is similar to Tidus in that he also has moves that have abilities based around critical hits. If you're thinking about sticking at 115, or if you want to know if you have to go all the way to level 120 with Cloud, he doesn't really gain any big stats except for a 410 boost to HP. And again, I said he has lower HP, he's on the lower side for a physical attacker. So that 400 HP is a big deal. But his job level 25 skill, it's an interesting AoE, but it doesn't really stand out to me as a must build. So maybe we can go do some research in some Japanese PvP videos to see if that skill is being used. But I think that budget players, free to play players, could be happy with 115 even with the low HP. Cloud's resists look really good. So he's strong against water damage, he's weak to earth, and he has solid resist with both 15% to slash and to missile resist. His pierce resist sits at 5%, and then he has no resist to strike damage, but he does have a 10% weakness to magic, so Helena's going to bop him for sure. But he also has a 10% resist to slow, and then 50% to paralysis and disable. So disable is a big one. King Mont and Dwayne beware, especially with his great building point for slash resist. He should be good at not only taking damage and not being disabled by those two, but then using his defense penetration to get through to them. Next, we're going to take a look at Cloud's kit and determine what skills we should be using. So with passives, we have 2 unique passives for the soldier job. Former first class is going to give you HP and decrease your evasion rate, but the most important thing here is it gives you a whopping 60% defense penetration. Variety Store is going to give you a 24% attack boost and 1 extra move. So this is very important depending on the map or the AI that you want Cloud to exhibit. And if you don't need him to have that extra move, then you might use Nightblade Mastery, which will give you 30% more attack. And then it also gives you some accuracy. Now, if you're using Ranger sub for Cloud, then you might use these range and missile attack passives, but you don't necessarily need them because the Buster Sword is going to give lightning attack, and that's going to kind of slot in for the missile attack there. And he wants to get close in anyway, so his missile moves are already longer range than his slashing moves without any range increase, so he's going to use them when he goes into attack anyway. If you are in a missile team and someone's using aimed fire on him, maybe he's getting a range boost there. Maybe on a certain map you want him to have a super far range, you can mix that in, but I think you always want to have former first class on, and probably Variety Store or Nightblade Mastery, and you don't need to mess with any of these Ranger passives. Now, if you want to take a look at his counters, he does have a soldier counter with a 30% chance to occur, and that's very nice. But even so, reflex is the best counter in the game. It's the way to go. Next up is the main kit, and we're going to look at Braver. First, this is Cloud's bread and butter attack, and it breaks slash resist by 25%. So everybody can get it on the fun. All your slash units will be able to do more damage once Cloud has hit his target. We also have Brave mode, which is going to increase his crit rate, AoE resist, and then decrease his evasion. So they really don't want Cloud's high agility to be misused in some kind of evasion team. They want him to be hittable. So his ability though to stack that AoE resist means that he's going to have just a really good chance of approaching and killing any Helenas. If you have a tank, he can just sit there and take some AoE damage from whoever, and that's going to be just fine. Rapid Chain is a 3-hit AoE, which gets upgraded at job level 19, and once it's upgraded, it will crit. That will happen. So this skill is going to be good for chaining, it's going to be good for AoEing, and it's also going to be great for breaking barriers because it hits 3 times. And then it's also going to take advantage of Cloud's different boosts to crit damage, to his ability that gives him some AP back when he crits. So even though its potency is very low at 121%, if you're stacking that crit damage from any sort of source, then he can still hit decently with this. Next up is Soldier's Pride. It's a TP buff that's going to give Cloud and his allies 40% attack and then a 10 AP restore whenever they crit. So this is a refund of AP. Obviously, if Cloud uses Rapid Chain, then you're going to get some AP back. That's pretty good. Then we have Slash, which is a large potency attack that gets upgraded to a very large potency at job level 22, and it also has a 25% chance to paralyze enemies. Then we have Mega Slash, which is more mega than Slash was, I guess. And this is a big AoE centered around Cloud. It has a 170% potency, and it has a higher than average chance to crit. So it's hard to tell how good this is going to be. Our enemy's going to be surrounding Cloud. Will your allies be in the way? So that's why I was kind of on the fence about this job level 25 skill. I haven't seen him use it as much as his other skills on when I watch matches on the JP side. So if anyone has feedback on this, post down in the comments below. Looking at the sub-kits, we have for Soldier, Infinity's End, which is a 165 potency skill with a 50% chance to stun an enemy when you crit. So this is huge to be able to have that 50% chance, and it could be game ending. So Cloud might just kill the target anyway, to be honest, but King Mont has shown us that how solid Stun Blade can be on the Nightblade sub, and this skill has an even higher chance to stun people. That's really good. We also have Break, which is a nice non-type damage attack with a very nice cone AoE in front of Cloud. It has a 25% chance to inflict blind, and if he has the Buster Sword equipped, then that skill is going to take advantage of that lightning attack up. Same thing goes for Curl and for Frederica's Dream. That's all going to power up this skill. If we go over to the Ranger sub, then you're going to be using Sharpshoot and Barrage. Those are the main things. It's going to give you another AoE. It's going to give you another 100% hit attack, another different type of attack type to get around resists. And Vigilance might seem kind of cool with that evasion boost until you remember that all of Cloud's best buffs lower his evasion. And then we have Nightblade, which will give you some really nice team buffs like double resist and concentration. And depending on your matchup and your team composition, then you might want to run these. So concentration also gives Cloud a chance to reach 80% defense penetration, which is nutty. And then we have AP Drain. I always want to mention that because it's such a great manual play move for PvE and PvP, so really solid to have that on there. Cloud's Limit Burst has been renamed Ascension, which makes no sense. It's Clim Hazard. It has a 200% potency, it breaks physical barriers, and it lowers their crit evasion by 50 for the target, but hopefully it's just killed them instead. I don't expect a unit to survive this unless they're a tank or something, and then you can all go crit on that tank. So the range is very decent for Cloud for a skill set. The 43 AP cost can be mitigated a bit with the bells or with his TMR, or if you refund it if you crit. So there's ways to get around the 43 AP cost. This is a powerful limit burst, no doubt about it. Compared to other damage dealers, Cloud looks really good. Just the ability to break through resists and through defense, and just the amount of power he has, the utility that he has, it's really impressive, and he compares very favorably to most physical damage dealers that we have. The one area that Cloud is a little bit weaker than some physical damage dealers is his staple cross-shaped AoE that a lot of other damage dealers have. So we have Rapid Chain, it's gonna crit, but it's only 121% potency. So that's where I'm kind of wondering, how is that gonna look compared to, Dwayne coming in with Eternal Darkness, or other people, using their cross-shaped AoE that's just super reliable for taking out multiple units or weakening multiple units. Hopefully Cloud can do the same thing with Rapid Chain. Let's take a look at the pros and cons of Cloud. So the pros, he has 60 to 80% defense penetration. It's just crazy. And then 25% slash resistance break. He has 15 slash resist himself, and he can stack up to 35 AoE resist with his Brave Mode ability. Not to mention, if you put the armor on him and then he goes even higher, that's a really big deal. And then he has a barrier break, he has chaining skills, he has multiple damage types, 100% hit, mobility increasing, AP reduction, and AP restore. He does so many things. He's going to be a tank buster. He's going to be a unit buster. He's just going to bust units with the buster sword. Well, look at that. But then there are some cons. The weakness to magic is obviously concerning. The lower HP for a frontline physical unit. The low range, aside from his ranger skills, he doesn't actually have a ton of range. And then the fact that Earth is going to be more popular than it was for JP at this time in the game, because Zazan has come out. And Earth would not get more popular in JP until we saw they saw Oberyn come out, they saw Noctis come out. There was Kitone was around, Moraga was around, Luel was around, but it's just not the same as with Zazan here. People have focused Earth a little bit more. So the question is, should you pull Cloud? Yeah, I think he should. He's gonna be more than a solid damage dealer. Even if you don't use lightning teams, it doesn't matter. You can just put him into a team that you have, whatever slot, and just watch him go. He's gonna be a plug and play unit, and you should not feel bad at all about going for him. So that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to talk more about Cloud, you can feel free to comment below and then I'll try to respond to you. Or you can join me on the Mysidia Gaming Discord, the link for which is in the description for this video. And then otherwise, please consider liking, subscribing to the channel so that you get kept abreast of new videos that are coming out. And I'll see you in the next one.